Torbjorn's here again, huh? Yay! Anyway, so we've been playing a lot of things from modern games, a lot of fantasy games, a lot of space games, a lot of action-y stuff. But there's one series that I really love that we haven't touched on yet. Yeah, that's right. Star Trek. Now, a lot of people debate, okay, which one's the better one, Star Trek or Star Wars? And the way I see it is Star Wars is more action-oriented. Lots of space flights and lightsaber duels and things like that. A lot of action-y stuff. But Star Trek is more about diplomacy and drama and storytelling in my eyes. Well, they both have storytelling. But I mean, like, they try to avoid the violence aspect of things and try to go with more of a, like a diplomatic approach. Like, for example, my all-time favorite is Star Trek The Next Generation with Patrick Stewart, Jonathan Frakes, and the whole gang. That one's my absolute favorite. The newer ones, I mean, they tend to go more on the action side of things. Lots of space battles and lots of guns and explosions and blah, 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 blah. To me, that's not what Star Trek is about. Star Trek is about discovery and solving problems with brains and ingenuity, and not through violence and lots of yelling and stuff like that. Nah, not my cup of tea. So, we're going to be playing Star Trek Resurgence. Now, normally, I've been playing a lot of games that I've played before on this channel, but this is one of them where I've never touched it before, so this will be an experience for both of us. Well, not both. There could be multiple people watching this. You get my point, all right? So let's just get right into it, huh? Now, like I said, I've never played this game before. I did turn it on and mess with the settings a little bit before going through here, like adjusting the volume and whatnot. So, this will be an experience for everybody. Oh, I hope it's as good as what I think it is. Begin. Let's go. Yeah, it's a choice-based game. Kind of like a visual novel, sort of. Like, let's say, Telltale games. A lot of those come to mind with this. So let's see what we got here. Okay, shuttlecraft.
Stardate 57931.4. The crew is restless. After spending too many months piecing our ship back together, we're finally about to venture out on a new mission. And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down. They're ready for something different. I know I am. More than any of them.
I'm excited. This is gonna be fun.
Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy. Nature of the universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos, in this case, change is good. Our new first officer is en route to the Resolute. Jara Rydek. I know she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
Might have to bring up the volume and turn the V-Sync back on. Oh, great. We're already in the ship. A little bit of a storm. Don't mind it. Don't mind it. Oh, it's got QTEs. Oh, well, jeez. All right, fine.
Thanks.
No problem.
I'm not great with flying. But these little shuttles are the worst. But
You don't like flying. And yet, you joined Starfleet.
there's a reason I'm not a pilot.
You should try it sometime.
Oh yeah, it's one of these games. Nice, I like these games. Anything where your choices actually matter is always good in my eyes.
I hadn't noticed.
I'm on my way to my first assignment. When we get to the starbase, I'm transferring on to the Resolute.
So am I.
It won't be easy for Jara to step in at the 11th hour like this. But if she's half the officer I knew she could become when she was a cadet at Starfleet Academy, she'll be the XO this ship needs right now.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of volume control here. Turn down the music, raise up the master volume so the speaking voice is okay. For some reason, a lot of games, like to have really loud music and really quiet voices. Like, I get it. I get it. You want to show off your technologicals or your audio. But come on. Haven't you people ever heard of balance? Jeez. So yeah, that's the first thing we're going to do when we get the chance. Liking the new outfits. That's pretty cool. Okay, 1 second. Let me go ahead and adjust this here. Let's turn that back on. Motion blurs. Massive volume to the music down. Music down. There we go. All right, let's try that. What do we got going on here? Well, picture's a lot sharper now with the VSync on.
A starbase on the very edge of Federation space. Long way from home now.
Ain't nothing compared to the Klingons. I love Klingons, especially in the next generation. Like, those are my people. Love them. It's either that or the Cardassians. The Cardassians are pretty sweet. I'm not a fan of the Romulans. Definitely not. And Starfleet isn't as pretty as it is laid out to be. They're pretty corrupt a lot of times as well, but if I had to pick one, it would definitely be the Klingons, with the Cardassians as a runner-up.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the Academy.
Oh yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torbjorn test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintar's 5. Anyway, I finished in the top 20. Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history of the Academy.
Really? That's quite impressive.
Thank you. It was tough. But you know, I set my mind to it and it paid off.
Now, I'm not playing these games through roleplay. I'm making legit choices that I would make. I'm not playing a character. This is just me.
Place your hand here.
So any choice I make is a choice that I would probably make at the time. Oh, really? Thanks. QTEs are terrible. Don't have these. I mean, at this point, it's just a glorified visual novel.
Commander Rydek.
Wait, you're Jara Rydek? You absolutely crushed the Torbjorn test.
Uh-huh.
You finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm really... It's an honor to meet you, Commander. Sorry, I didn't realize before. I just came off the shuttle and was glad to be on solid ground.
Well, now you know. Keep your eyes and ears open and you might pick up on things.
I believe Commander Ermot is expecting you. He's in the concourse just ahead.
See you on the Resolute.
Understood. Let's go. I might have to work with the mouse sensitivity too. That feels a little... Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Should be okay. This feels good, huh? I've always wanted to play... what was that Star Trek one?
Good day, Commander.
Hey, what's up? Star Trek, Oh, the one where everyone is sitting in the... Oh, Bridge Crew. That was it. Yeah, Star Trek Bridge Crew. I've always wanted to play that, but I don't have a VR headset or none of that. I mean, I could play without, but what's the fun in that?
If I remember my briefing, Commander Ermot is a Bolian, so I'm looking for someone with blue skin.
I've already spotted him.
Resolute too?
Oh, so many stuff to interact with.
Starbase 128 has 4 docks.
That's it? Wow, how insightful. Thanks for that, I guess. Whatever. What you guys up to? Hey, how's it going?
Excuse me, have you seen a Bolian around here?
Yes, sir. Right back there, near the replicator.
That's a replicator?
Ah, there he is. Thank you.
Happy to help, Commander.
Okay. Okay.
I'll replicate myself a meal once I'm on board. Excuse me.
Okay. So here's a little thing that you should know. In the first season, like the OG series with Spock and Kirk, a lot of the aliens are just people painted a different color. It was to save money. And they didn't exactly know what kind of aliens they wanted to have at the time, so they just kind of went with it. That's why a lot of the prosthetics are just, oh, you got like a little bridge on the forehead or the nose or something like that. They didn't want to go too elaborate. Like with the what are those fish people? I forget their names. They were in Next Gen. They didn't really want to go all out with the big costumes and elaborate stuff like you would see in like Star Wars or like the Men in Black series, nothing like that. They wanted to keep it simple. Plus, they didn't want to distract away from the story by having big flashy aliens. But it also backfired because then they had things like the Duralians, which are just like these blob creatures, which is basically a human with just a blanket covering them. It's like, okay, that's pretty lame, bro. So, again, like this, it's just a dude that's blue. But they addressed this in Next Generation as to why there are so many humanoid-shaped people. Like the whole 2 legs, 2 arms, 5 fingers, eyes, you know. Because in Next Gen, I forget the episode's name, but it had to do with a single genetic species taking their genetic material and putting it, they spread it throughout the entire galaxy in different regions, and those different regions and different upbringings went along different evolutionary paths, and that's what made the Klingons, the Romulans, the Vulcans, blah, 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 blah. So all of us on the core fundamental genetic tree are cousins. Humans and Romulans are related. Klingons and humans are related. Klingons and Romulans, we're all related because we all came from a singular race that billions of years ago. That's why everyone basically evolved the same. Because we're all derived from that race. I really like how they address that as to why, aliens are all humanoid. There you go. Now you know. It's somewhere in Next Gen. I believe the episode was called Genesis. It was the episode where the humans were looking for a relic, I think. They found some kind of relic from an archaeological dig. The Klingons found one, and the Cardassians found one, and the Romulans found one. And they all had to piece them together to go to the same place. The whole point of the episode was to build coexistence between the races, because the people, the ground zero people, I should say, or the patient zeros, left those genetic markers on all these locations, and in order to find that location, you had to have all of the pieces, which means the Klingon piece had to have the human piece, and the Cardassian piece, and the Romulan piece. They all had to piece them together to form the map to go to the location. It was to help build coexistence with the races that they made. So basically, we were planted as seeds, and we grew into what we are now. It's fascinating stuff. Yeah, I think the episode is called Genesis. I believe it's in season 7 of The Next Generation. I'll have to look it up. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Anyway. Hello, sir.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydek. I'm Commander Jan Ermot.
That guy's a good voice actor. I like him in a lot of things.
Commander? I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us right now. I know conditions are less than ideal at the moment.
It was a bit bumpy, but otherwise okay.
My apologies. This storm is unlike anything I've seen before. We're grateful you were able to come fill our first officer vacancy at such short notice.
Why'd you hesitate?
Everything I've read and everything I've heard, we're lucky you were available to us. Coming from a premier starship and all. To our little research vessel.
What exactly have you heard about me?
First in your class at the Academy. Received the Starfleet Award of Valor during the Dominion War. Most recently, Tactical Officer and Chief of Security on the U.S.S Endeavor.
You've done your homework?
Like I said, we're very lucky.
Cool.
The U.S.S Resolute. She may not look like much compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own. And she doesn't look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
The equipment malfunction. An accident suggests fault.
Uh-huh.
No one's to blame. It was a planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium, there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed. We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle. Cost us our first officer and 22 of our crew.
Damn.
At the end of the day, we're all responsible for each other.
I can't even begin to imagine what that must have been like for you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. It does weigh heavy. There are some things you can't forget.
It's been 6 months. What's the attitude among the crew now?
I don't want to keep delving into bad memories.
Unsettled.
Bring them back
But
in.
I hope that a new mission will help them move forward. If not, move on. Listen. I realize you've known Captain Solana for quite some time, and I'm sure you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly at first. Until they come to value your contributions as much as he does.
Right. Fair.
Thank you.
Gotta earn
It
your
was good
keep
to have
in a new
sense for
circle.
what you're walking into.
I just thought you ought to know.
I appreciate it.
Starfleet has assigned us a high-priority mission to the Hotari region. I'll let the captain brief you on board. I know he's eager to see you.
Will we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention. The crew has been working around the clock to get the ship ready. There's still so much to do.
I don't like games where the choices are timed. I really don't like that. I mean, it doesn't give you a chance to really think things over. I understand it's to build natural flow, but it's a video game. Who cares? Not to mention it's a good point to like pause if you have to or really think about it. Not to mention it also gives me a chance to talk. I don't want to talk over the characters, but I also want to, you know, interact and go over my thoughts and blah, blah, blah. Anyway. Wow, that was totally necessary. What do we got? Oh, great.
Stuck. I got just the thing.
That would be this one. Yeah, I already know it. Cool. Oh, man, okay. Ah, it's one of these, huh? Okay. Okay, well, close enough, I suppose. Like, is this necessary? Oh, click. Wow, how fun. Jeez. Whatever. It's about the story. Just keep telling yourself that, Torbjorn. It's about the story.
That is that.
I thought the thing was totally fried. Nice work, Carter.
Nothing to it, Neely.
And
Wonder
not
why
a
the
moment
graphics
too
look so
soon.
weird.
The
I'll have
boss
to work
wants
on
us down
that.
in engineering, like now.
I've got the resolution set right. Graphics mode maximum. Now let's go down to high, I guess. See what happens. Motion blur's off. I hate motion blur. Alright, let's see what happens. My graphics card is awesome, but who knows? Probes. Bruh.
Come on.
Oh, these are heavier than they look.
Yeah, be right there.
Sense in 0G. You're welcome. So clean I can see myself. And you know what? Not half bad.
Carter Diaz.
Yeah. I'm coming. Wait a minute. I'm coming. Had to help a guy. That's what I do. Wow, good talking to you. This isn't awkward in the slightest, but okay, sure. Why not?
Engineering.
I heard the new XO just arrived. Won't be long before we get underway. I just hope whatever Chovak called us down for, it's something good. I can never tell with him. I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma manifolds.
Ah, what's the matter, Neely? Afraid of a little hard work?
A little hard work? Really? A little? 6 months of putting this ship back together is a lot of hard work.
Yeah, and here we are. Just about ready to go.
Yeah, it still looks a little weird. It's a little jittery. It's not very smooth. Odd.
Looks like we got here before.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak.
We were just looking for you, Commander.
Of course it's a
Petty
Vulcan.
Officers Ed Solar, Diaz. I was beginning to think you would be late. We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you.
Yes, sir.
A point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Edsolar on repeated occasions.
Apologies for the delay, Commander.
I do not want your apologies. Simply see to it that it does not happen again.
Sir.
So, I don't suppose you wanted us down here to check in before we go off duty?
Equip yourselves in EV suits to work on the exterior of the hull. I need you to tune the structural integrity field for optimal performance. The subspace distortions and ionic interference we are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration. But this ship must be ready to depart shortly, despite the storm. The precise nature of these disturbances are not fully understood. But many systems have been affected by the wide band of emissive activity.
How concerned should we be about the storm? Are you worried?
Vulcans do not worry. We calculate the variables and take appropriate precautions to mitigate the risk.
Dumb question.
Right now,
Right.
that entails making critical preparations, because long-range sensors show that these disturbances will be more severe at our destination, the Hotari system. You have your orders. Do not delay.
Yes,
Roger
Commander
that.
Chovak.
Also, I apologize if I'm a little quiet because I'm trying to pay attention to the story. First time playthrough.
What's that?
All hands on deck. That's what Chovak said. You know what that means? It means this ship isn't ready to go out and the brass know it. So they're throwing every warm body at it. And they're going to leave on schedule.
You won't get an argument from me, Nelly. Sure seems like everyone's still scrambling.
And I get it. When has a relaunch ever gone off without a hitch? But this isn't just any old refit or any old relaunch.
Whoa.
Whoa, dude.
Excuse me.
A lot of new faces coming on board. It's gotta be tough coming as a replacement. That's for sure.
They seem alright. Something that happened 6 months ago while they were off on another ship? Well, that's nothing to hold against them.
Yeah, you're right. I guess getting a little new blood on board doesn't hurt.
I mean, you gotta fill the slots, right?
Hold on. Now there's an old face I didn't expect to see again. Hey, Miranda!
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Miranda, you're here?
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
Transfer came in at the last minute, so I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
I'm gonna take the high road here, pretend you didn't say that, and welcome you aboard.
He's a better diplomat than I am.
Damn right.
He still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome. As soon as we wrap up this quick little spacewalk.
Yeah, quick. Because that's how it always goes. Was that necessary?
Here, let me help you.
God, I hate QTEs.
Thanks.
So what's the word? Are you back in the security rotation?
Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa.
The hell? Why'd you take so long to do that?
Good to go.
Thank you. Took that other guy like 5 seconds. Took you like 10. What's going on?
See you on the other side.
Yeah, that's famous last words, alright.
Activating magnetic souls.
Let's do it. Yeah, it feels a little slow doing that. I suppose they gotta have the player do something. I mean, I'd be happy just making choices.
Have you never gets old.
Let's go.
Oh, I'd be in heaven. Star Trek has always been one of my nerd fantasies. I don't really have any good Star Trek games. I tried the MMO, but it's so like... it's like one of the only Star Trek games around, so they don't really do much with it. Of course, I was a member of the Klingon Empire, naturally. Meanwhile, in the captain's quarters. Looks like the captain's quarters. No, they're my quarters.
Captain Solano should be here momentarily.
Oh, it is the captain's. Not the quarters, the captain's ready room. Uh-oh, game has crashed. Okay. Alright, game has crashed. Gotta find the mouse. Alright, I'm working on the mouse here. I can't see the mouse. Gotta click that fatal error. Ugh. Well, let's try starting it up again and see what happens. Fantastic then, that's great. I wonder where that's saved. Oh boy, that's not good. That's not good. Alright, let's try again. There we go. Perfect. Right where we left off. Sorry about that, folks.
You'll have to forgive me, I don't know much about Kobleods. But my understanding is you need a steady supply of duridium to keep your cell structure stabilized, or bad things start to happen.
We got a sickness,
And we
huh?
have plenty of duridium in sickbay, so there's no risk of running out.
Thank you.
Feel free to make yourself at home. And help yourself to whatever you like from the replicator.
Yeah, cool. Kind of odd to say in the captain's ready room, but sure. Looking good. Some pretty cool stuff in here.
He's still got a thing for trains.
Every boy has his
The warp
toys.
engines of their day, apparently.
What do we got over here? Commendation? Diploma.
I can't believe he keeps this around. I
What?
don't even know where mine is.
Jeez. It's an achievement. Man.
The first mineral Captain Solano ever discovered. Always was the nostalgic type.
I mean, aren't we all? Everybody keeps trophies. Okay, well, screw you, I guess.
Can't wait to plot a course myself.
What do we got here?
Just a sip of something. Tea.
Let's go tea. Thank you. For a second there, I was waiting for a click to drink.
That's lovely.
Is that how they get rid of stuff? I never knew that.
Jara Rydek.
Oh man, look at that
Last time I
mustache.
saw you, it was graduation from the academy.
That's a man right
You already
there.
secured one of the most prestigious assignments possible. And you were burning with enough ambition to fuel 7 trips around the Necrid Expanse.
It's good to see you again, Captain.
The Necrons.
Could not be happier to have you on the
For
resume.
40K? Oh, the Necrons.
Regret is, we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome. The arrival of a first officer to her new ship deserves a bit of fanfare.
That would be totally unnecessary. I don't need any pomp and circumstance.
Nonsense. I would.
Been here all of 5 minutes already. You're trying to make us more efficient. I like it. As I'm sure you've heard, we've had a rough go of it these last 6 months. The ship suffered some damage, but not nearly as much as the crew.
I assume you mean the accident.
That's right. The tragic accident, really. We were on the verge of a major scientific breakthrough. A quantum leap forward in warp core technology. 10,000 teradynes per second. The ability to travel at a sustained rate of speed longer and faster than we ever dreamed. What would have been the crowning achievement of my career. Right there. Within our grasp. Until it all went so horribly wrong. We pushed her too hard, and a warp core malfunction overloaded the system, creating a pressure gradient way beyond what the ship can handle. It was heartbreaking. We lost some of our best people. As captain, I have to take full responsibility. It was my decision to make, and I have to live with the consequences.
You're being too hard on yourself. It wasn't your fault.
It's not a question of blame. It's about responsibility. No matter what the circumstances. In my defense, I will say, I might have avoided the whole ordeal if my senior staff had been willing to trust me. There was a lot of pushback from my former XO. I think that cost me his confidence.
Interesting.
I don't want you to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account. But once we decide on a course of action, I need everyone to fully commit to the mission. Anything short of that just won't work. And that's when things start to go sideways.
Whether I agree or disagree, I can promise that I'll be honest to a fault.
Honest.
Good.
Yep.
That's exactly what I'm looking for.
I am not a blind
At the end of the
obedient.
day, it has
If I see
to be
something
mine.
wrong, I'm gonna voice it.
Look, I'll be blunt. We can't afford another mistake. Or at least I can't. I feel like my career is hanging in the balance here. We need a win. Something to restore the crew's confidence.
I understand.
On a more positive note, Starfleet has tasked us with what they're calling a mission of the highest priority.
Ooh.
Escorting a senior diplomat to Hotari space. Two previously peaceful and otherwise non-aggressive civilizations now find themselves on the brink of all-out war.
So it's a peacekeeping mission.
I see it as a golden opportunity to not only prove what the Resolute and her crew are truly capable of, but also a mission for which we're uniquely qualified. This ionic storm. Our long-range sensors suggest it's several orders of magnitude stronger than anything on record. A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before. And you'll never guess where it leads.
Hatari.
Exactly. Very nearly in the precise location where we're headed. Where I imagine the interference will be exponentially greater. But the diplomat will brief us on the details of the rendezvous.
What are the details?
Who is the senior diplomat we're escorting?
That I don't know. Starfleet hasn't said.
Oh, okay.
But
That's
I don't
weird.
want to get ahead of myself. I expect we'll have some rough sledding when we arrive, so I need you to prepare the crew for the worst. There's just one more thing I want to clarify up front. The metric that for me will be the ultimate measure of your success.
What is it?
If after serving as my first officer, you don't one day find yourself with a ship of your own, then I will consider it my personal failure. When that might happen is entirely up to you. But it goes without saying, you have my full support.
It's been a dream of mine since before I can remember. So I would be honored to become a captain someday.
As long as you're willing to do the work, you have my promise. I'll do everything in my power to see that it happens.
Yay!
Thank you.
Come, let me introduce you to the crew.
All right, off to the bridge. Cool. Commander Data was always my favorite character. Let's see what we got. The bridge looks different. Not bad, but different. They added a few more stations. I wonder when this takes place in the timeline.
Everyone, if I could have your attention for a moment. I'd like to introduce Commander Jara Rydek, our new first officer. Some quick introductions. This is Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman, one of the best in the business.
One of?
Hey, he's Bajoran.
What he lacks in humility, he more than makes up for in ability.
A pleasure to meet you, Commander.
Likewise.
Next, we have Commander Westbrook, our Chief Science Officer. I've come to rely on his expert counsel on a regular basis.
Pleasure.
Commander Rydek, it is such an honor to meet you.
This is our tactical officer, Lieutenant Bedrosian, who's been looking forward to meeting you for about as long as I can remember.
I've been following your career for quite some time.
Ooh, a fan. I love
I
fans.
look forward to learning as much as I can from you.
If anything, the honor is mine.
Well, I have to admit, one of the reasons I've followed your career is because you're part Kobliad, because of what you've overcome. Starfleet stands up for people who can't defend themselves, and you were one of those people once. But since then, you've done so much to protect others who need it. I really admire that.
Nice.
So, you've been something of an inspiration to me. Not that I've done anything close to what you've done.
You really do know a thing or two about me. I'm glad I could inspire you. But it's important to chart your own
Nice.
path.
It's good to be a role model, huh?
You can count on it.
That sounded weird recording.
And then, of course, you've already met Commander Ermont. Please, do everything you can to make Commander Rydek feel at home here. I'll be on the starbase. I have an urgent meeting with the starbase commander to get our authorization to get underway. If they drag their feet any longer, we won't make our rendezvous. The bridge is yours.
All right. You know, in one of my old role plays, I was always compared to Commander Riker, so this about suits me. What do we got going on here?
Decks, full of crew that are now my responsibility.
All right, let's take a look around here, see if everything's working up to snuff. Nice, good, good. Let's turbo lift, right on. There she is. The vastness of space.
Impressive range of view.
This is the dream of little boy Torbjorn. What you doing, playing Galaga?
Communications. Keeps us in contact internally and with other vessels.
You're the communications officer? Weren't introduced, so I'm guessing no.
Operations.
Ops looking good?
Staffing, supplies. There's a lot to keep track of on a starship. Good thing we have Commander Ermont.
Alright, how we doing on the helm?
The helm. The Resolute is a refitted Centaur class, meaning it's capable of quick maneuvers. Can't wait to see what she can do.
We got a speedy research vessel, huh? Centaur class, Centaur class. I can't remember where that is in the ranking. I know a Galaxy class starship is the biggest one, right? Or is there bigger? I can't remember.
Science station. The Resolute is a science vessel, primarily. Might explain Commander Westbrook's attitude. I'll have to speak with him later.
Yeah, that explains why there's a science station on the bridge. A little odd. Also, I really like how they kept the next generation colors. How red is the commanding officer. Yellow is science and security. And blue is, well, medical and science, I suppose. Or no, yellow is security and engineering, right? Anyway, yeah, I prefer the next generation colors rather than having yellow be the in charge and then red was engineering and blue was the science. You know that. I was never a fan of that. Red is always seen as a commanding color in a lot of cultures and a lot of fiction and things like that. So it just made sense. And when I think engineering, I always think yellow. You know, thanks to Star Trek, and blue makes sense for like doctors and stuff. It's a really calming color. Yellow is a really energetic type color. So it makes sense to put that in engineering. What's the hollow? What is this?
Tactical hollow dais. Just like they've got on the Excelsior.
Eh? Interesting. Anyway. Alright. Let's do this.
Commander, Chief Engineer Chovak needs to lower the structural integrity field. He's sent a crew out to recalibrate the emitters in response to the danger posed by the storm. We just need your go-ahead.
Understood.
Permission granted.
Lowering structural integrity field, now.
Entering maintenance mode. Condition blue.
Good. Let's keep it that way, shall we? Meanwhile...
The storm is getting worse.
Looks like they turned off the Sith.
Great. Let's get to that emitter.
Riveting gameplay. Just absolutely
Every
peak.
time we're out here, I half expect to see her in pieces again.
She's still got some scars on her. It adds character.
When I joined Starfleet, all I wanted was a ride out of town. But this isn't exactly how I pictured it.
On the outside of the ship?
No. Sometimes it feels like we're just part of the machinery. Don't you want more than that?
Not really.
I mean, Starfleet is noble and all, but it's still a machine. A massive, massive machine.
I am more than that. And so are you. You wanted to get away. I enlisted because because I didn't want to wait years just to get out and see the galaxy. I wanted to go somewhere, see new worlds, look up at a sky no one's ever seen before. Just because I'm cranking a hyperspanner up in a Jeffries tube today doesn't mean that's all I'll ever be.
Bingo. As they say, reach for the stars, huh?
Diaz to Commander Chovak. We are at the Sif emitter.
Acknowledged. You may proceed with the recalibration.
Yeah, let's go. Alright, what do we got in here? Let's see here. See, I don't like this. I want to test my Star Trek knowledge. When they say go for a acetylene torch, I know it's this thing. When you say go for a calibrator, I want to be able to look at these and go, huh, which one would be the calibrator? Well, probably this thing for sure. I mean, that's a screwdriver. Not sure what that is. That's a clamp. That I'm not really sure. Looks like something that tests wires. Man, I don't know what that one is. Like, test me. Come on.
Beginning recalibration.
I want to interact. Don't just tell me what to do. Turn the nodes into circular indicators. Okay.
Careful. Too much action and harmonics will deflect the alignment.
What? Oh, I get it. Stop moving. That wasn't very close.
Looks good.
If the guy would stop fidgeting his hand. What do you got, palsy? Cerebral palsy? Freaking out? Wait a minute. Is that an error?
Commander Westbrook, right? Chief Science Officer.
You remembered my name and my rank. Impressive. Yes, I am the Chief Science Officer, and I have the dubious honor of being the most senior officer on this bridge. I know this ship inside and out. Better than just about anyone.
What a very impressive list of credentials.
This is a research and discovery ship, first and foremost. Now with a former tactical officer as its new first officer. I'm curious, though. A Kobliad, or half in your case, is an odd choice for first officer.
Meaning?
Given your vulnerable condition and all. But if, as an example, we found ourselves in a hostile situation, and you were suddenly incapacitated because you needed an infusion, what would happen then? You'd leave Captain Solano without an XO. Granted, that would be a worst-case scenario, but not outside the realm of possibility.
Captain Solano's familiar with my condition. I'm sure it factored into his decision.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I'd have to say it's not a
I'm
problem.
pretty sure she wouldn't be here if it was a problem, jackass.
Listen, can I be blunt, Commander?
I see no reason to stop now.
Commander Sutherland, your predecessor, was one of the best first officers in all of Starfleet. His record was impeccable and his reputation was without equal. I mean no disrespect, but the shoes you're stepping into are almost impossible to fill.
I'm not looking to
He was
fill
loved
them.
by the crew. And he was one of my closest friends. So I can only hope that you'll live up to expectations.
Mr. Westbrook, if you have some kind of problem with me, and you just met me so it has nothing to do with me, you're gonna have to figure out how to get over it. Because I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere. Do you read me?
Loud and clear. I'll stick to science. That is what this ship is for.
Very well.
Thank you.
Seeing as Captain Solano is on the starbase, let me give you an update on this ion storm we're flying into.
Please
It's
do.
unusual, unlike anything I've ever seen. At the moment, I can't tell you if the Resolute will shrug it off or if we're putting ourselves at risk. However, if we learn more about its patterns, its nature, we can come up with a scientific countermeasure. Just a moment.
You don't hear that beeping? Jeez. Problem inbound.
We've got a massive
On screen.
Oh, that's not good.
Tracing its trajectory.
Starbase docking clamps are holding.
The storm's emissions are fluctuating, coming in waves. And if my projections are right, we're about to get hit by a wideband burst of ionic energy. Like a tsunami.
I'm reading power abnormalities all over the ship.
Why? Why do I need to do this?
2 minutes.
Red alert.
Aye.
All right, come on, everyone to your stations. Let's go.
Evacuating main gangway and retracting.
Putting sensor visualization on screen.
With the structural integrity field shut down, we can't take a direct hit.
Time to impact. 1 minute.
Shield systems are severely impacted. We have limited protection.
I need every available solution. What are our options?
We can weaken the impact of the storm with a deflector pulse.
There's a better way.
I'm sending all auxiliary power to the deflector dish.
Send the aux power to the shields. We can't reactivate the entire shield bubble, but it's a directional threat, so we can orient all we have towards the wave. You have to believe me.
We only get one shot at this. We can't afford to get it wrong.
Shields up.
That's right, which is why we need to send power to our shields.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Get those shields up.
Rerouting power to shields. Stand by. I need a heading. We've only got one shot.
Taking the hit directly is a bad move. If we can deflect it away, that'll be a better option. It'll minimize damage. Pump this sucker out of us. Bounce it right off.
This is it.
All hands, brace for impact.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
What's up with the warp core?
Experienced a surge of radiation.
Get out of there.
Oh, you don't say.
This radiation supercharged the plasma, forcing it to backflush through the system and creating a dangerous imbalance.
Ah, crap.
On every primary system on the ship.
Just tell us where you need us.
I need you to traverse the hull to the access port to recalibrate the port nacelle plasma regulator.
Got it.
We've reached the first access point.
Understood. Do you see the override for the level 1 failsafe circuits?
Alright, what do we got here? Let's see.
Affirmative.
Engage the override. It should allow us to stop the EPS flow to the warp engine without triggering an automatic core shutdown.
Failsafe override engaged.
Are you sure? I am registering some crosstalk in the bypass circuit.
We need to route the signals so they don't interfere with each other.
Alright, let's see here. It's not sensitive enough. Too slow.
Diaz to Resolute. The failsafes are temporarily disabled. Moving on to the EPS regulator.
Heads up, Carter.
What is that?
One of the discharges coalesced.
It's coming right toward us. I'm gonna try to disrupt it with my phaser.
Oh, that's cool.
So we gotta climb up the pylon. Not that there's really an up, but, you know.
Clear a path. Come on, bring it on. My time playing Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask really prepared me for this.
regulator.
Come on. Come on.
We're at the regulator.
Hold them off. I got it.
Opening the access panel.
I am now halting the EPS flow to the port nacelle. We have little time before it causes an overload in the engine. You must work efficiently.
I'm working on it.
EPS manifold adjusters reset to neutral.
See, don't just tell me what to do. Alright, let's see here. Got it.
The EPS lines to the
See,
floor
that's how you
vortex
do
are
it.
back
Don't
in
tell me
balance.
what to do. Just let me do it.
Done. Once I cycle the manifold nozzles, Chovok can...
Oh, crap. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we're going down. Come on, the ship has already had one disaster. Let's not make it two. Hey, cat. Oh, that is really not good. Oh, that is really not good. Not good. Not good. Heads up.
Get down! Diaz to bridge. We just lost the docking clamp. We've got a lot of debris coming down. Hull vibrations, too. We can't finish the EPS regulation in these conditions. Please advise.
We have to release the ship from that other docking clamp or the hull will be ripped apart.
There's a problem. The clamps are supposed to disengage automatically in an emergency, but it's not working.
Not working.
What are our options?
The docking clamps are fitted with exploding bolts for an emergency release.
We've got crew out there. That'd be like setting off a bomb next to them.
Maybe there's another way.
Starbase is hailing us.
Put him through.
Resolute, the remaining mooring arm is failing. You need to disengage from the starbase now.
Options.
The damage to the station will be catastrophic.
We're getting it.
The docking clamp isn't functioning. We're exploring our
The
options.
option is to detonate the emergency release.
Commander, hear me out. Reverse the polarity of the hull, which theoretically will repel the docking clamps.
And propel
Risks.
the engineering crew right off the hull into the storm.
This is Captain Solano. Put me on screen.
Go ahead. Captain, we have a situation.
Commander, what are you doing? Blow the bolts on the docking clamp.
The captain doesn't know the whole story.
I'm giving you an order. Jara?
All due respect, sir, it's a more complex situation than when you
Jara,
disembarked.
I need you to do the right thing. We can't have this go sideways before we even leave for the mission.
The captain made himself quite clear.
They're gonna get hammered with debris out there. Reverse the polarity.
There is protocol.
And there are lives.
Starbase, stand by. We're gonna flip hull polarity to disengage the clamps.
Yes, Commander.
I'm doing the right thing, sir.
Repair crew, this is Acting Captain Jara Rydek. Be advised, we are going to reverse hull polarity to free us from the remaining docking clamp. Tether yourself and deactivate your boots
Exactly.
on my mark.
Hold on to something so you don't fly off into space. We're not gonna send a bunch of debris to fly at them.
7,
Not happening.
6, 5,
Oh god.
4,
Oh god. See?
3,
That's how it is.
2, 1. Mark!
Oh, hang on. Hang on to something. Heads up.
Grab my
Get
hand.
down. Hang on to something.
I got you.
Thank you.
Come on, get down. Hang on to something.
Plasma imbalance is reaching critical condition. We are moments from primary system failure.
I got it.
Come on. Come on! Get up there! Give it a good smack. Get up there. Come on, get up there. Hey, kid. Heads up! Not happening.
I got you. Petty Officer Edselar's hurt and unconscious. I'm gonna have to tow her back to the airlock.
Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed. You are at risk of triggering a substantial electromagnetic arc if you approach the main hull the way you came.
But Commander, the way we came is the nearest airlock.
There is an auxiliary hatch near you on the far end of the pylon. You must bring Miss Edselar there to access the interior.
All right, let's do this. Come on.
Going there now.
Oh, all right, we're already off to a fantastic start. Let's go. Come on, come on, come on. Go. Hurry up. It's coming at us.
I'm at the auxiliary hatch.
Get down. Get down. Come on, get in there. Let's go. What the hell?
You go first.
What?
Let me save your neck this time.
Get in there. Bullshit. Go. We don't have time.
No time to fight me on this.
Bullshit. We don't have time. Get in there.
Let's not let it come down to that.
Get in there. I'm not arguing. What the hell was with that? Damn it. Uh-oh. Something got me.
We made it.
They're safe, bringing the SIF fully online.
Do it.
The captain's gonna be pissed, but I don't care. My duty is to the ship and the crew. I have to explore all options, not just the fastest one. Obeying your commanding officer is very important. But if you have a better option, then take the better option.
Help me with him.
Captains aren't always right.
Let's get this off.
That had to hurt.
Medical. Got one wounded at my location. Carter. You don't look so good.
I don't feel so good.
You gotta be more careful. I just got here. I'm not ready to see you two get blown to space dust just yet.
Thanks. Moving on.
Now let's get you down to sickbay.
Great.
Status report.
The repair crew made it inside. EPS flow is back to nominal levels. The SIF is back up.
How does this affect mission readiness, Mr. Ermont?
Releasing the docking clamps using hull polarity minimized damage to the Resolute.
Bingo.
We'll have some last-minute repairs to make, but if we reapportion some of the staff, we can make our departure on time.
Bingo.
As of now, however, we are successfully moored to the station.
Good to hear. Send updates to my ready room. Commander Rydek, with me.
Here we go. Sometimes the right call is not the right call. Go ahead. Let's get this over with.
You disobeyed my orders.
Yep.
Well?
Respectfully, Captain, I made the right choice given the information
You
I had.
disobeyed my orders.
I don't give a damn.
Not just in front of the bridge crew, but the Starbase staff as well. That's going to get around. My name's already tarnished around the fleet. But what is it going to do to my credibility on this ship?
I don't give a rat's ass about your
From the
credibility.
top to the bottom. Bridge to lower decks.
I don't give a rat's ass about your credibility. We saved lives, and you're worried about your reputation?
Captain, I told you I'd be honest, so here it is. Maybe I shouldn't have disobeyed a direct order, but you were wrong. You weren't on board, and you didn't have all the information. So I made the right decision for the ship. If you're worried about your credibility, put your ego aside and trust your crew. Trust me.
Damn.
You might have won some fans on the bridge with that stunt, but not everyone. Lieutenant Commander Chovak has already bent my ear.
I'm sure he doesn't take it personally. He'll get over it in time.
Mr. Chovak is more complicated than he would want to admit. I guess we all are. And, if I'm being honest, I'm not sure what I would have done in the moment either. You never really know if you weren't in those shoes. So, let's just boil it down to you did what you had to. That'll have to be good enough for me.
Thank you for understanding, sir. I'm sure no one knows the burden of command as well as you do.
I'm sure you will, someday. Despite it all, we got our final Starfleet clearance to depart. So if you'll fetch Mr. Ermot, we'll knock out the final details of any outstanding repairs, and then we'll set out for Hotari.
Yes, sir.
See, and that's exactly why Captain Picard chose Commander Riker as his XO, because he wanted someone to challenge him. He doesn't want blind authority. He wants somebody that will do what's best for the ship and the crew. He follows orders, but does what he has to do when it counts. That's what I intend to do.
All departments reporting full mission readiness. We've got our full complement on board.
This is my favorite moment, right now.
The start of a new mission is always full of possibility.
The Orion Syndicate could sell it as a drug.
Don't let the Admiralty hear you say that.
Captain on the bridge.
Sit. Sit, everyone. You all know, I'm not big on speeches. We're embarking on the first mission since our refit. Let's make it a good one. Disengage docking clamps.
Where's this diplomat of ours?
Docking clamps released.
Thrusters ahead, Mr. Handar. Should do it. Set a course for the Hotari system. Prepare to go to Warp 8.
Aye, Captain.
You know what? You take this one.
Ooh, I get to say engage.
Engage.
Was one of the options get it done? Because that's what... Oh, God, what was that? Captain Chelik? I think his name was Captain Chelik? Get it done.
Simple, but
fuck that guy. Whoa.
Easy. Thank you. I'm fine.
We good. We good.
Really. I
You don't look so good.
Just the excitement. We're fine.
I have to get to sickbay.
Go.
I mean, she's basically diabetic if you're looking at it right.
Help me get her inside.
Yeah, gotta go. Going down. Oh, man. Do I need to be clamped down? Really? What the? Oh, it's an injector.
Well, that was quite a scare. A few minutes more and it would have been one of the shortest tenures on record for a first officer.
Thank you.
Is that the engineer that was out on the hull?
That storm did a real number on him, but he'll live. Just needs rest. You should worry about yourself. Your duridium levels got dangerously low and destabilized your cell structure.
This is definitely one of the more memorable first days I can think of.
Can't you carry like an EpiPen kind of thing with you where you could just inject it into your leg as an emergency deterrent?
I've never met a Kobliad before. You're
rare. I know.
I was going to say special. Your people's numbers have dwindled despite the Federation's efforts to find a more readily available alternative to the duridium you need to survive. Yet you joined Starfleet and managed to thrive. I imagine the responsibility must be overwhelming. Maybe even a burden at times.
I don't like the attention it brings. Being treated differently than everyone else.
But you are different. That's not something you can change.
We're all different.
True. But sometimes it makes it even more difficult than it already is.
And don't worry, I won't treat you like a science experiment. I just do the science and leave the experiments to Solano.
You don't agree with his methods?
I don't agree with his definition of acceptable risks.
Meaning?
Not when the lives of your crew are at stake. My professional opinion is that the accident took a toll. More than he's willing to admit. He's overstressed, operating in the pressure cooker of his own mind. Which is never a good headspace when the lives of your crew are at stake.
What's up, cat?
What concerns me is that now he's even further away from the thing he's been chasing his entire
career. Wait a little bit.
Breakthrough discovery. The major innovation. Something he can put his name on.
I hear you. But that's my job, isn't it? To make sure that doesn't happen. And we don't lose sight of the bigger picture.
Bingo.
Which is exactly why I'm so glad you're here. We need you now.
Look, taking risks is a big part of the job, sure, but not at the major cost. Come on.
Huh. I guess word travels fast around here.
It's a small ship, and everyone's curious about the new XO. Fortunately, your cell structure is almost completely stabilized. And I'll spare us both the lecture, but I do feel it's my responsibility to remind you, without regular infusions of duridium, you will not live. It's as simple as that.
Thank you.
Understood.
Then, my work here is done.
Lieutenant Bedrosian. I came to see if you were okay. We were all pretty worried on the bridge. No one knew what was happening.
I'm feeling much better. Thank you. It's just part of who I am.
You don't have to explain to me. I understand. I'm just glad you're okay. You trusted me earlier with the shields, and I appreciated that. I want you to know that I have your back.
Thank you.
It was the right call. Thanks for the option. Keep up the good work. All right. I don't want to get too deep into it. This game seems like it doesn't really have any off points between the two. So, we're going to end it there. And we'll get back at it later. Pretty fun, huh? I like it. See ya. fun, huh? I love Star Trek. So, we're going to make sure to hit that up again pretty soon, huh? We got lots of games to get to, lots of things to talk about. I got all kinds of videos and plans for the future, so keep God, I can't talk right now, apparently. So, make sure to stay tuned and, I got nothing. See ya!